here today. I'll be your tour guide, so to speak. Now, there's a lot of updates and enhancements to the BeeKonnected project, and I will be feeding you that intel as we go along. But first, I want to start off with a little pop quiz, if you will. And of course, some of you have been with me for a while, so you'll know the answers. Refrain from putting your answer in chat. But if you're brand new with us, like we always have new people here today, let me do a little screen share here and bring something up. So I have a question for you. See if I can get this right. Okay, PowerPoint's not cooperating. All right, now you're just upsetting me. All right, well, let's just start over.
If you have it open on your desktop, just click the desktop.
I promise you, I know PowerPoint's just being a little something or another. Restart the program. That just goes to show, see, Microsoft has technical issues too. See how that works? Okay. T, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so here is the pop quiz for you there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you can obviously see there are 5 frogs sitting on a log. So if you're brand new with us here today, here's the question. If 3 of these frogs decide to jump off, how many are left? Now, hopefully you did not jump for a calculator. Have you got your answer now? So again, so how many are left? And the answer is, I didn't hear any swooshes. I didn't hear anything. There, I heard 1 swoosh. Okay, the answer is 5. And you say, wait a minute, 5 minus 3 is 2. I said, how many? I said, out of the frogs, 3 decided to jump off the log, but deciding to do something and actually doing it are 2 different things. And so one of my great mentors in my life said, if you got the wrong answer, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. And Jim Rohn was an amazing coach, and may God bless his soul, he's no longer with us. But you know, he started his first 6 years of his adult life milking cows, and so he was poor. And when he met his mentor, you know, his mentor asked him a couple of questions going into training him. He said, well, how much money have you saved? And of course, if you have listened to Jim Rohn, he has a very distinct twang in his voice, and he said, not any. And so his mentor said, stop doing that. And the next 6 years of Jim Rohn's life, being mentored by the right coach, he became a millionaire. And then he decided to retire, but then he made some very drastic mistakes, lost all of his money. And he said, well, they took away my money, but they did not take away my skill set. So he began again. And this time he became richer, faster, and was one of the icons of trainers in the world. So let's kind of get into the show here today. The Saturday show, as I mentioned, is the 13th. If you're here in the Western civilization, I know in different parts of the world, especially my other adopted country of Thailand, it's already the 14th. We are coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, the presentation has had some enhancements, and look for this new version coming out at the beginning of the week. We got some more amazing announcements to talk to you about. But if you've noticed here, this is the world, so to speak, online, right? So again, you have, you know, Microsoft, you have Google, you have Zoom, you have all your social media companies. And then for those of you that are coaches, then you're very aware of a company called Kajabi that does premium content. They are the leader in that industry. Now, look at that guy's face. Look at that face. Now, you might not have that face, but you might feel that anxiety on the inside because the Navigate Online, the average entrepreneur is using approximately 6.7 platforms to perform a function. And so it's very cumbersome. You probably have a little black book or somewhere on your computer, all the passwords you've had to save to work with all these amazing companies. Now, notice their subscribers, right? There's about 5 billion people using these types of technology. So our amazing CEO decided to do something. Now, I'm living proof. You don't have to be smart to be successful. But here at BeeKonnected, we say you can be smart and be rewarded. And if you can't be smart like myself, you can be smarter, right? And so the whole goal here is to create a universe where people can do all of the functions that require you to perform the task of moving your company forward. So from your virtual conferencing to broadcasting your company, to posting in social media, to creating your own private or public groups, finding instant leads online without the spamming and the trolls, selling your premium content if you have some. And then we've even got software that nobody in the world has. It'll be amazing. It's amazing to me how nobody had thought through our P3 system to this point for certain industries. Now, I want to break this down because this is a new announcement, and there'll be some new pricing here to combat some of the big boys, so to speak, because everybody talks about Zoom, which obviously it did great things for people during the pandemic. They were only at 10 million subscribers, and then within about 18 months, they had grown to 300 million because the world was locked down. But what people don't realize is, well, they first realize that Microsoft and Google are massive companies, both trillion-dollar companies each. But Microsoft Teams and Google Meets, now this is mostly corporations, ladies and gentlemen. And what is the main difference? Well, one is Zoom is app-based, and a lot of companies will not allow an app to be downloaded for security reasons on their company websites and with their employees. Second thing is Zoom is owned by China, and I'm not picking on China, but I'm just letting you know on the political landscape, a lot of people, don't want their apps to be downloaded where the information could be shared with certain entities. So again, you've got an additional 300 million people on Google Meet, and then Microsoft Teams. So that's a combined total of 745 million customers. Now, here's the important part of this conversation here today. Every once in a while, a company comes up and they're a disruptor. Now, the latest example I can bring to you is Uber, which created rideshare. Now, they didn't invent picking up a client on point A and dropping them off on point B, but they revolutionized the process. This is called disruptive innovation, and that is what BeeKonnected is. Now, when disruptive information comes in, many times there's a shift in the pricing. It becomes more affordable. Now, cell phones, which I know a little bit about because 25 years ago, I used to be a master agent with one of the big cell phone companies with 200 cell phone stores. And I watched the handset shrink. And then obviously everybody here on the call today has a cell phone, but back then only about 30% of the population. Have you noticed the pricing of the plans keeps dropping? Now, these other companies have enjoyed not really having a lot of competition in their marketplace. But here we are today where we've designed this for the business community. So we're going to be, and I'll get into that in a second, very unique in our application online. So we built in live links to our virtual conferencing platform. We call it K2K or Care to Connect. And these links, because this is what entrepreneurs need, they need to be able to make an offer seamlessly to their end user. Now, the companies like a Zoom, they're kind of using old school mentality where they want you to dig things out of chat. Now, we're not saying we don't have chat, but if you're trying to make an offer while you're giving your presentations, you want that offer right in front of the customer. So all I got to do is click a button. And then those replays in the replay, those links still need to be live. So the offer can continuously make you money. Now, in addition, we've woven this into where your premium content and other important software is already blended into the process, so you don't have to do multiple tasks. So I call this the safe process, right? It's better to be safe than sorry, right? So SAFE stands for simple, affordable, faster, and more efficient. It is a game changer because this is the world's first integrated virtual conferencing platform of its kind, right? So, Zoom does a great job doing virtual conferencing, but they don't sell premium content. Kajabi does a great job of selling premium content, but they don't virtual conferencing. So what does the old school mentality say? Oh, you got to buy both. And we say nay, right? We say just do one versus the other, right? You get it all together in one application. Now, the P3 system, which stands for Professional Presentation Platform, we specifically designed this for companies that create sales forces, either using an affiliate program or a network marketing mentality where they have ranks of people that belong to 6 different forms of compensation. Very confusing, can be very lucrative if you find yourself at the right company, but the process of working online is still really bulky because the presenter always has to end the show by saying, get back to the person that invited you. And that's a horrible way to conduct business because now when the person's ready to buy, you're telling them they can't buy. Now they got to take an extra step to go back and chase down the person that invited them, or vice versa. That person's got to chase down the other person, which also prohibits you from properly marketing your product or service to other people. With this system, the speakers, the leaders, the trainers, the people with the doctorate, the lawyers, whoever the expert is, can actually instantly sell and sign up people for the entire organization, because the software is going to know who brought the people to the actual webinar and give them credit. This is a game changer. And yes, I spent 3 decades of my life flying around the world multiple times, giving seminars in Nigeria and Rio de Janeiro and Manila and Bangkok and throughout the rest of the world. I would have given my right kidney for a system like this. Now, this is one of the biggest things that has happened to BeeKonnected. This is the final application, if you will, and then we will consider it an official launch. So for all of you who have been with us for a little while or been with us for years, we appreciate your tenacity, your patience, but that day is now arrived, so to speak. Now remember, part of the SAFE program, the last E stands for efficiency. And so you can get the brand new app where at your fingertips, you can instantly jump from doing a social media post, then giving your private group information and updates, then having them jump on a live webinar, all within a couple clicks of a button. It's all set up like the Netflix style, what the kids today like, right? Just swipe left, swipe right, and you can go through all of our incredible platforms, just a couple clicks of a button. So, the journey of BeeKonnected started in February 2020, where the CEO approached me and said, hey, I've got this great idea. What do you think? And I thought, well, okay, I think you're crazy, but it's such an amazing opportunity. Let's do it. And then over the course of years, we developed all this software. Now, if we just, ladies and gentlemen, because I was recently asked by a very successful CEO, why did it take you so long? I said, well, if we had one software, I would have been done in the first 6 months. But we decided to keep going and build the ultimate social media business platform in the world. And so we have now arrived. So thank you to all the tech enthusiasts, or the innovators, if you will. That phase is now complete starting next week. We are now going into the visionary part of our business. That's the early adopters. Now, this is where it gets fun. And mark my words, there will be fortunes, ladies and gentlemen, that will be made on this journey moving forward, because we are monetized. And then, of course, there'll be an IPO after a certain amount of customers, and then the rest will be history when we adopt the early majority and late majority of the people. So I want to bring on the architect, the person who thought this all up, financed most of it out of her own pocket. Somebody who has had multiple companies and successes, the creator of the Public Speakers Association. This is a winner of over 25 national and international awards. So she's got a full resume of both success and failure, because I don't trust anybody that hasn't failed yet. But her success has far outweighed her losses. And of course, now that we're at this stage of the game, I'll share with you one of the questions she's most oftenly asked is the why question. Why did you create BeeKonnected? Well, running the Public Speakers Association for over 7 years, She understood the pain points of her fabulous entrepreneurs that could change people's lives. One is they had a hard time monetizing their following. And two, she recognized their brilliance, but the world wouldn't know who they were. And so she kept looking for platforms to be able to plug her people into, and she couldn't find one. So she decided to go ahead and build one of the greatest. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to bring on our CEO and our other co-founder of BeeKonnected, Ms. Tanya Hoffman.
Hello, everyone. Yay. Yay. I know this is a moment in history right now because we've got both platforms running at the same time. So we've got two chats going on. We've got all this incredible, and half people are on BeeKonnected and half people just came in through the social biz channel. So how exciting is that?
Okay, you need to slow down because new people know you just spoke a foreign language. What do you mean? Same time. What are you talking about?
So now we have the ability to have kind of the same show running in two different spaces. So if someone is part of BeeKonnected and they're inside BeeKonnected, they can just launch the show from there. Everyone can actually join from there. But there's a lot of people who are like, oh, I don't want to join yet. I just want to watch a show. They can also then at the same time come through their actual room link and see the show at the same time. So here we are on our initial launch.
So you don't have to be a member of BeeKonnected to be on a BeeKonnected show.
Exactly.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's beyond awesome. So yeah, there's always something fun and new going on here at BeeKonnected.
So you've had an interesting week.
Man, you know, I met with some of the most amazing people from around the world. You know, this is the fun part, I think, of what we both do is we get to meet with the real movers and shakers, you know, around the world. Even we talked to an incredible two ladies that have a really awesome insurance agency, and they're super excited about bringing not only their 400 agents over, but also their 100 employees. And so it's a new day here at BeeKonnected for sure.
And I'm trying to multitask.
You know you can't do that.
I know. I can't do it well. So I'm just being updated to some of the things we talked about. So one of the big announcements, because we were keeping this close to the vest until we get close to the actual official launch of your new mobile app, which is amazing. Amazing.
So cool.
I mean, this is the future, ladies and gentlemen, of doing business. And I'm not trying to say that, you know, our kid is the prettiest kid in the world, which
it is.
Took the words out of my mouth. But it's just, you can't beat a good idea, right? You can debate it all you want to, but at the end of the day, the truth comes out. And then in the future, why would you want to have 7 different softwares to run a company when you have a company that can do all 7 softwares better than what the individual companies do?
Oh, it's such a game changer.
You know, especially the low attrition that usually happens, you're paying the people for their loyalty.
Yeah.
So we've often said, if you're going to supersize your following, which who doesn't want to grow, right? Who doesn't want to get bigger? But as you build your brand, not our brand, you build your brand online, bigger, bringing a bigger customer base to the table, wouldn't you want to just monetize that at the same time?
I know. I was talking with a fabulous young lady the other day, and she sold a business already, and she's about to launch a new business. And that's when I told her about me meeting Bill, the billionaire, back in 2007, how that changed my life, that you've got to create multiple income streams with what you're already doing. You know, you're not an Uber driver, a Mary Kay lady, and a realtor, right? You can't do all of those things. It's about doing the same thing at the same time. And that's what we've created here. And she was like, oh my gosh, she was like trying to absorb what this really meant for her. And I felt like I was back, you know, young again, talking to Bill.
Now, we added obviously some additional intel into our presentation because now that we're close to launching the app, then we want to bring in the other two powerhouses on virtual conferencing, right? Which is, of course, Microsoft and Google. And of course, they have a combined 445 million more customers we have not talked about to this point.
Exactly.
So that is a massive leap forward in the opportunity that we present ourselves. Now, you know this more than I do because it's your world. So Zoom is app-based. Google and Microsoft build browser-based, yes?
Just like ours.
And so BeeKonnected is?
Our browser-based.
Browser-based. Remember, go slow. New people can't read your mind.
What? Not yet?
Corporations don't want different technology downloaded into the system for security reasons.
Yeah, they do a lot of blocking of people downloading apps because they want some control, and that's what we're working on at the moment, is helping people who have employees figure out how to use BeeKonnected. And so we're always being in tune with what people need, right? What is the want that's out there and the desires that will help their business grow?
Now, that is not political in any stretch of the imagination. That's security.
Yeah.
Now, the other, though, component is political, is because Zoom is owned by China.
Well, and they just was sued for listening in on people's conversations. And so it's not me saying that they were doing it. It's the government going, we found you, we caught you, and then slapped them with a huge fine, I was like, okay.
Yeah, they can afford it, right? Considering,
And we don't do that here. We don't listen in on anybody's conversations. We don't, tell people what to do. We just have 3 rules, right? And, no nudity. Okay.
Nothing. Moved out on that one, by the way, but okay.
No, brother. Nothing illegal, and then no hate speech that leads to violence. And I think everyone that we talk to, they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's good.
All right, that was a joke, ladies and gentlemen. People are going to take that literally like, oh, Jared's a weird dude. No, it's just trying to be funny. Okay, so that's amazing. Now, you have some amazing people that showed up here today before we get into the rest of our overview and talk a little bit about tactics now, because we added another, 400 plus million people to the opportunity to go after, right? We're going to be having special pricing for corporations. That'll come next week. Slow your roll. Don't ask me the question. I'm not prepared to answer it. I was just getting text, different the solutions, if you will. So I need the weekend to get through this. Plus, next week is going to be a monstrous week. Now, before I bring in your guests, there are still internet gods called Microsoft and Google, right? So you got the the Apple users and the Android people, and everything has to be blessed if you're launching an app.
I know, my mother's like, what do you mean? They're telling you can't launch your app? And I'm like, yeah, Mom. It is their platform. I said, and I get it. They want to make sure that what's there is verified. But yet is like, all right, come on, let's go. Let's get it done.
All right, so I'll make this very clear. Your app is completed on your end, yes?
Yes.
So the app is finalized, and I believe there's 3 different verification steps for the internet gods to say yes or no. And where are you out of the 3?
We're in the 3rd one, so we're just waiting for the checks. And then our guys will, and you might have seen that the app will go down. The original one will go down because then they've got to replace it with a new one. So that's happening. So
what you're saying is don't freak out. That just means you're moments away from having the first ever integrated virtual conferencing platform on your phone. The kids today, yes, everybody should be clapping right now. The kids today don't use computers. They all are attached to this with their office. And so we're making this as powerful. Oops, going off my girl there. Make this powerful as a computer. This is a game changer. So anywhere in the world, in all the 3rd world countries where they can't afford, big fancy computers like a lot of people in 1st world countries can do, but they can be in business. They can be in business for free even, and grow their business and then scale their business with BeeKonnected. So again, this is a huge day, ladies and gentlemen. You've been with us for a while and you're in a coma. I'm going to say, wake up. If you're brand new, you showed up at the perfect time, right when we're getting to kick everything off. It has definitely not been easy, but then again, neither is becoming massively successful. Yeah, you shouldn't ask, is it easy? You should be asking, is it worth it? Worth it. And so this is going to scale very quickly, ladies and gentlemen. There's a whole long list of people waiting to join BeeKonnected when this new technology hits the shelves, so to speak. I'm so old school.
I know, we've got people like, Dr. Joe Webb that is just on fire. He's just like bringing these amazing people to the table, it's the timing. The timing is like so perfect.
Okay, so you've got some very special guests coming here today. So I'm going to go ahead and do my thing and bring up your first amazing person. Now, what or who? Because I think this person's trying to challenge you for your crown.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. This woman is amazing.
Look at that picture. You tell me, look at that picture. I think she's vying for your job.
I love it. So this incredible woman, that's what she teaches women, is how to find their inner queen, who every woman is not just a princess, but a real queen. And I love that she takes that step and really dives deep and helps women really overcome so much. We had such a great conversation the other day. So without further ado, everyone, Miss Marie Holm. She told me I would probably butcher the name. And Marie, go ahead and unmute, and there you are.
I think I did.
There you are. You're here.
I don't see myself, but that's totally okay. It's JR.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, you're probably. Anyways, I'll pin you to the stage to make sure that you can see yourself.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. Thank you. Thank you.
So you are up in Sweden.
Yay. And we have summer.
Which is not like Vegas summer.
We talked about that. And I'm happy. I'm living in a sauna.
I know you've got a lot going on, but you have an amazing gift to help women. Explain a little bit about what the Queen Formation is all about.
Yes, this is my big passion in life, helping women to win in life. And what it's all about is helping them building their self-worth and self-love, because there are so much out there like, get this strategy or do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things and you will thrive and you will make a 6-figure. It doesn't work that way if we women have zero self-worth and we don't know self-love and we know self-respect and self-acceptance. There are so much body shame and like, I'm not good enough, and we're comparing, competing. So all that has to, we have to let go of that and just go within and connect to our inner queen, because I truly, truly believe that every living woman on this planet has this queen within. And that's so interesting, because my old network, we all know that when we start to do different things, family, friends, and neighbors, they start to, why does she call herself a queen? Who do she think she is? I don't know how to say that, but you know what I mean. And I'm not calling myself a queen because I am better than anyone else. I want to inspire, because I call everyone a queen. I will call you a queen until you believe you are a queen.
I love that.
I love it. I love it.
When you're talking to women, because I know that's you're kind of your main focus and everything, and I do think that there's a tendency for other people, especially other women, to say, just like what you said, oh, what makes you think that you're better than me? And you're not saying you're better than somebody. You're saying, own that you're great.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. So it's just all about leadership, right? I need to first learn to lead myself, to be to be able to guide someone else, because I can never help anyone higher than I have reached myself. So I have to start with me. And can I share something I read about the bee queen in the hive?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, being in this platform, we all women have to understand this, because again, you are that queen too. Her strength lies in her ability to inspire and sustain life. Showing the true leadership is about nurturing and empowering others. That's what the bee queen in the hive is doing. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm queen bee here, and join me.
Well, obviously, I build BeeKonnected for you then.
I really appreciate you. Thank you.
And I know you have these incredible pictures, you know, in the queen outfit and everything. Was that something you just recently did?
I cannot take credit for this, because this is my one of my new sisters in the sisterhood feminine fruitful feminine community, which we are now moving to BeeKonnected. We've been so busy with a 12-day event that we try to have in BeeKonnected, but of course, as you have spoken about, the mobile wasn't here, so we didn't dare to do the whole thing. But next time we will definitely be here. So it's Julie Rose. She's a queen in creating these pictures. I don't know how she's doing it. I'm just saying, can I have some ones that I'm laughing and excited and happy? Because first she did them very, you know, numb.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's just improving. I love them too. And so many of you, I don't know how many is here listening to this, but thank you so much for all your incredible feedback on my post. I really, it's amazing. That's also one part of being here, like to be seen and to be heard and appreciated. It's
Right.
beautiful.
Meet new people, you know. And you taught me a Swedish word, and I'm going to butcher it, so I apologize up front. So it's jantelagen.
Yeah, jantelagen. How many in here knows what jantelagen means?
The crickets. Oh, Liz knows. Of course, Annika, who's in Sweden.
My only comment is Mike has a cup, which means I don't understand.
Yeah. You know, Sonia, you know.
Yes, tell everyone, what does it mean?
It's about, don't try to be better than me. Like if you live in a neighborhood, there all this comparison, like, oh, they bought a new car. Who do they think they are? And now they're building a bigger house, or they, you know, it's, as soon as someone is going outside this box, you will be criticized or questioned. And yeah, we will always be questioned, right? I don't know if this is a typical Scandinavian thing. I always thought so. It exists all over the world. I don't know.
I know it is in the States, that's for sure. You know,
it is.
It's like, why wouldn't you want someone to do better? You know, it's always frustrated me. And I know you're moving all of your content from Kajabi over to BeeKonnected.
Yeah, I do.
What made you make the switch over?
Well, first of all, I was invited by beautiful Queen Caroline from Germany. I went to her podcast, and I have to admit, I didn't see the possibility, the opportunity the first time I visited her podcast show, but she managed to plant some seeds. So when I was in a place a few months later, when I was so sick and tired of paying all this money to Kajabi, not only paying for the platform, like $200 a month, and then I had to pay a kind of an assistant or an expert, Kajabi expert, to create my sales pages because it's too complicated. So I was so robbed. And then I remembered something that Caroline had said. So yeah, I'm so grateful for her planting these seeds, because that's what we have to do, like just when we share.
It's a little bit simpler to put up your information and everything.
Pardon me, and it was something interruption. I didn't hear.
Yeah, did you find it simpler to do all your courses on BeeKonnected then?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's
That's
always
what our goal is, to simplify things.
yeah, the simplicity is one of the three things I really saw. It was the price, like coming down from hundreds of dollars a month to 50, and then also all the beautiful connections, like people reaching out to me, how can I help you? That never happened in Kajabi. And I was like, wow, that's another lady who says she can help me. And just not to forget about Caroline and Laura Lee. I was just like, wow, they are attending my events, and I was blown away. And yeah, it's simple. I have been able to learn it. And if I can learn this, anyone can learn it.
I love it. It's always good to hear when you build something, you're like, okay, that's what my goal is.
Yeah.
Well, I adore you. I'm so glad that you're a part of this community. Everyone, make sure you get connected to Miss Marie. She is really, really amazing. And you can't miss any of her incredible posts of her in her queen outfit. It's just amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yay. Thanks, Marie. All righty. And now we're moving on to the next one.
And we're back. Oops. Did you pin me? Unpin me?
Yeah, I just pinned you back. There you go.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of great information that was just discussed there. So a lot of times people are looking at us, and we have a special now, right? Platinum Plus is the same price as Platinum, right? It's 50% off. But even if it was Platinum Plus, it's still at least 50% cheaper than one other technology, right? Not counting all the other things. So I did a little homework, and I was looking up Sales Navigator, Tanya, and I thought it was just one price point, but actually Sales Navigator over on LinkedIn is now, there's 3 choices in Sales Navigator.
Oh.
The first one starts at $99, and it goes up a month, and then it goes up from there. So that's just another grand, if you will, to throw on the mix. So again, it's just, there's so many opportunities here to, remember the whole safe thing. So it's simple, it's affordable, which means more cost effective, right? And you can get things done faster. And then of course the efficiency is the key, right? Most entrepreneurs, the one most important commodity, at least to me in my life when I was building sales teams around the world, was time. Oh. I had to find a way to get more things done in a given day. Sometimes even the cost was irrelevant. I was happy to pay more if I could get to my destination faster.
Yeah, and why would you want to pay just to talk to bots?
I mean, let's talk. A lot of times people have this weird relationship with money, and of course, a lot of people know I lived in Thailand besides America, and I've made 52 trips across the pond. Now, when I was starting out, I was not very successful, and so I had to save a lot of money to go over there because it's very expensive, and I would fly coach. And I remember seeing the price tag for business class and first class, and of course, in my mind, to justify the lie I was telling myself is there's no way I would spend that kind of money on a plane ticket, right? Because I'm thinking, how many kids I could feed for that, right, with my orphanages? And then they upgraded me a couple times for free, and I went, ooh.
Yeah, changes everything.
And then more success happens. Is now I have a policy I'll never fly coach again.
I know. I flew my mom here to Vegas, last October, first class, first time she's ever flown first class. And she's like, no, don't spend that kind of money and everything. Now she's like, oh, I'm coming. I get first class again, right?
Okay, get back to the show. So you have another individual, amazing individual. And so let me do my thing here. And so I do this. Why don't you go ahead and kind of clue people in? And who is this amazing soul?
Oh my gosh. So this gentleman has an incredible network of amazing people that he's developed over many years. And he's also puts on incredible events, which we were a big sponsor of last time, and we love it. I love this gentleman. He has the best smile I've ever seen in my life. and the greatest giggle. So without further ado, everyone, Mr. Basile Limba.
Hello, 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 hello.
How are you?
Good. Can you guys see me?
Yeah, he's getting rid of the, as soon as he stops sharing screen, there we go. How are you today?
Very, very good. I mean, I'm trying to be like you and JR, actually.
And you make me laugh every time I get on with you. So tell us a little bit, Basile, about your organization, because I know you even have a book coming out about networking. So you're fully not just a believer, but you live it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I want to start by saying, listen, before we start, I want to tell each and everyone that I feel home at BeeKonnected. Okay. BeeKonnected to me is home, and I'll come on back on that point. This blows me away, but I'll come back to that. Yeah, we bring people together, much like here. We started doing that over 20 years ago. And we have an incident that took place. And in looking into that, we realized the problem was that people were never taught how to network. It was a major realization. We drive cars, we went to driving school. We network, but we have never been taught how to network. You see, after that incident, just like you see the care of our founder and CEOs here, the two founders, I didn't want anybody to be upset. You see, so that's when I started codifying networking. And today we turn it into a science, meaning what? Meaning today we can teach anyone, repeat anyone, how to network as easily as they drive their cars. Okay? Now, fast forward. In May, we celebrated the 20th anniversary of our organization. A good week or more before that, Facebook cut me out. Not that I did anything wrong, mind you. It's just because they saw I had an event and I was asking people to come and join us to celebrate the 20th anniversary. And I was out. During that time period, the CEO of BeeKonnected was working with me to help me get through that, as well as having a successful event. Okay. Now, the question I have for one and all is, which one is best? What is out there or BeeKonnected? So when I say home, that's what I mean. There you have it.
And I was really shocked when you told me, you know, here you are trying to promote an event. It's a really important, you know, part of your business. Facebook was a solution for you for a long time, and yet they shut you down and made it purposely not come back online until the day after your event.
Yes, which is funny, right? So don't promote until the event, the day after the event. No, feel free to promote. Like, hello.
Yeah, it's not done, you know, on accident. And you have a book coming out, or it's already out?
Yes, we have a book coming out, and we should be coming out pretty soon here. But we still host our event. Of course, we're going to move all our event now and BeeKonnected starting next month. Everything is here, and you can see on our page everything we have coming up. We have courses now. We're moving over here in the next expo. We just want to contribute to all of you in whichever way we can, really, because this is, to me, BeeKonnected is what they call a no-brainer. Meaning what? You can take the brand out, as they say, but it still makes sense. And the queen we had before that was talking about all the connection you got. If you have a problem, you Facebook, for example, the chances of you talking to anybody are pretty much slim to none. But here I email support, I get an answer like that. Immediately. If they are a little behind, they say, we apologize. Ma'am, you don't have to apologize. It's okay. I'm blown away.
You're like, what? I even get a response ever? You know, this is awesome. Yeah, you know, it's always the little things that I think we've gotten so used to what we don't get anymore. When we do get something, you're like, oh wow, I forgot this is the way it used to be.
Exactly. You are correct, because we used to say generally that customer service, what is normal is the exception these days. And that's what BeeKonnected is. And really, it's very refreshing. And I've been in business for over 30 years. I can't tell you how refreshing it is to meet a team, a company like this. Almost like dying and winding up in heaven. And I mean it.
I don't want to think about what that would make me, but you know. Oh my gosh, you're so much fun. And your event is coming up in November, is it?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have a breakfast event coming up next week on Thursday, the monthly breakfast event. Feel free to join us. You can find the information on my page there. We also have the big expo coming up on November the 15th. Again, BeeKonnected, of course, is the title sponsor of each and everything we put on, as well as the breakfast event, because my goal is to drive people in here. There's nothing else out there like BeeKonnected. Some people do not see it. It's okay, but there is strictly nothing else. I mean, all these elements put together in one single place, what else do you find? The customer service, access to the team, the executive team. They help you whenever you're down. I don't know. I just don't know.
You're so cute. I just adore it. All right, everyone. Please connect with Basile. He is incredible. He is a wealth of knowledge. I mean, he's bringing investors to the table. He's connected to so many amazing people, and truly himself is a gem. So thank you so much for being part of our community, and we adore you. And
thank you to you, JR, David, and the entire team, Heather. I mean, much appreciated. Keep up the good work, please.
Fantastic. All righty, everyone. So great people, huh? Put in chats. All right, how's everyone thinking? They're like, oh, these are good. As JR punches all these little buttons.
Fumbles forward. I'm like, did I press that button? I did not press that button. Did I press that button? Did I not press that button? Okay, so a little bit of the dynamics change, right? So, you know, if you've been with us for a while, this will be a little different than what you're used to seeing. If you're brand new, this is kind of now, Boss, you got obviously a lot of people that can benefit from BeeKonnected, but what is the upside, right? You know, are we talking 1 million customers? Are we talking 10 million customers? Because it was a pipe dream 4.5 years ago, but it's no longer a pipe dream, right? So you've gotten to the point where when we look at the patented software you've created for the direct sales industry, that's 125 million people where you have carte blanche. Then we got in the true power of the 3 top virtual conferencing platforms where you obviously have more specific technology to help them. That's another 750 million. And then social media is almost 5 billion. So what's the income? What's the potential here of the scalability of BeeKonnected?
I think it's a few people.
Now we have price points that, you know, a lot of times people I don't think they understand how much technology is woven into BeeKonnected, right? They go through 1 or 2 presentations and they have selected listing skills. Now, I just got, when I was being texted, right? Because remember I said I'm a horrible multitasker, but now that I got to turn my camera off and read the emails, your wonderful assistant, Heather, gave me the intel on Google Meet and teams, and it looks like they average between $18 to $24 a month. Is that convenient and a coincidence? That's our best value,
Right.
right in the middle. So not a lot has to be adjusted. So we're incredibly competitive, but of course we do more than just virtual conferencing. Now the platinum is where the equation changes, right? Because at platinum, you can then monetize your following on BeeKonnected automatically, right? You have to request it, but you can become an affiliate partner. So is there really a price point then anymore if you're actually paying back the revenue, sharing the revenue with the people that join BeeKonnected and they build their network here?
Yeah, because I know Google and Zoom and everyone hasn't paid me anything.
And so we have a special now, ladies and gentlemen, right now that at the Platinum Plus, which is typically $99 a month, that's analyzed. If you pay by the year, it's $105. There's a special going on right now. You get it for the Platinum price. But again, I think people a lot of times when they look at this, because there's so much on the table, they're not recognizing. Now remember, I already talked about Sales Navigator being another $100, approximately $100 a month. We have Kajabi that starts at $150 a month, as your guest was talking. She was paying hundreds of dollars a month, and then she had to go pay an expert to figure out the software.
Exactly.
It's like crazy talk. And then of course we won't deal with Microsoft or Google. We'll talk about Zoom. Zoom is very expensive when you get to like the 1,000 attendees. Now those prices were taken from their website, and that's if you can afford to pay for it annually. So that's $3,400. So if we put just Kajabi and Zoom as a package deal, then it's like over $600 a month. If you want to throw in LinkedIn, you got to throw another $100 a month on top of that. All for the price point of $49.95. And of course, you get upgraded to Platinum Plus. But even if Platinum Plus was in play, what's cheaper, $639 or $99.95?
No brainer.
It's not even a competition. And again, you have more services, which of course I go back to that safe, right? So it's simple, it's affordable, right? You're going to get your tasks done faster, so you can concentrate on more things other than technology. And then of course the efficiency is drastically increased. Now from here we talk a little bit about the financial rewards, right, that you offer. Why did you do this? Why? Because you obviously, if you're more cost effective and you've made people's lives simpler, why are you paying people on top of offering the technology? Why'd you do that?
Well, because I've helped build Zoom, because I was one of the first users of Zoom. I helped build Facebook. I helped build all of these companies. I never even got a thank you note. Not even, here's a couple dollars. So I was like, what if we switch this around and really thank people who help us build BeeKonnected?
Now, in the world of catering to approximately 5 billion people, not everybody's doing the same thing. So I like to break it into 3 simple categories. You might come up with your own analogy, but the first category, I call them the doers. These are the hardworking people of the world, the entrepreneurs, if you will, that are posting content, that are selling books, that are offering training, inspiration. They're the ones out there that make the world go round and round. But there's another type of person who has a very special talent that recruits the talent, right? So they have talent, but they recruit. It's kind of like a sports agent. He's not playing football, but he offers support to those people. And of course, the final component, especially for the people in direct sales or an affiliate program, they're builders. They're builders of sales forces, right? The builders of companies. And so each of these have a different mindset. So we had to create multiple streams of income. But before we get into that, I always go back to this because this was one of my favorite reads because I was living in Hawaii for a minute, and I was in the I was on the big island of Hawaii, or Hawaii, as they say there. And that's where Robert Kiyosaki grew up. He went to Hilo High School, and I was just outside of Hilo in Keau. It's where my home was. And I remember talking about his amazing book to an audience there. And one of the people in the audience stopped me and said, "Are you talking about Bob?" I still laugh, even though I tell that story all the time, you know, because they knew this guy as a teenager growing up. And of course, 10 years after his dad died, out of respect, he published this amazing masterpiece called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in the book, he talks about something called the cash flow quadrant, where he's talking about the difference of linear income versus residual income. Now, remember, the book is called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And his real father was the poor dad, and his best friend's dad was one of the richest men in all of Hawaii. And so he said, you know, when he breaks it down, there's employees and self-employed people. You either have a job or you own a job. And you trade time for money, but you have no leverage, which means if you stop working, your income stops. And then he talked about the other 5% of the people in the world who are in the business quadrant, where they own a system and people end up making them money. And that's what my first mentor used to teach me. He said, either you have people at work or you have your money at work. And that's the I quadrant. So then you put together this multiple streams of income, because, right, you were talking about your billionaire friend, Bill.
Right.
By the way, 2 of my mentors were Bill. Maybe I could be done already if my parents would have called me Bill instead of John. I don't know. Maybe.
Right.
We'll never know. Now, in the multiple streams of income, you have to understand you built this for the A quadrant. Yes?
Absolutely.
So this is where you get to do course creation, right? You're a coach, you're a trainer, you're an author. You can offer paid membership groups, so you can charge your own membership fees. You can offer your own paid training. Now, it was very curious to me, because I'm like, man, you're giving away to farm. You don't charge anything to allow people to make money off your platform outside your membership.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't take a percentage of yourself.
Now, companies like YouTube take as much as 50%.
What?
Yeah, when I found that out, I was trying to dial 911 on my phone, but I'm like, what am I going to tell the police? Hey, I'm being robbed by YouTube. Like, where do they go? But this is where you grow and sell your own company, right? That's premium content. That's the Kajabi, right? So those companies, and remember, we offer all this technology. Now, sky's the limit here. Right? There'll be people that come out with amazing courses. Maybe they charge $1,000 for a course that could change your life. And if they only have 1,000 people to buy their course, they've made $1 million. But we don't want to stop there. So this is where we differ ourselves now. And we created a 2-tiered affiliate partner program. It's not a pyramid. There's no MLM. We don't have a problem with that, by the way, because we support that industry. But the way the internet works, social media works, everyone's trying to build their own following. So that's why we did 2 tiers. We'll explain that in a second. Sadly, the C category, VIP Platinum, this is the last week. So you got this week and only this week, if it lasts that long, and then that's going to be done. And then D, that's the granddaddy, and that's where there's actually stock options on the table. So this is an equation. You might have seen it before. You got John and Jane here. John is an affiliate. Now, Jane is a free member. And don't go to sleep on free members, because they get their own K2K system, right? Their Care to Connect, and they can do some social media here. And they're going to start building their network, building their community on BeeKonnected, because remember, it's safe. It's very important to understand an acronym, right? So it's going to be super simple. It's going to be affordable. Obviously, free is very affordable. Right? You're going to be able to build it faster and, of course, more efficiently. Now, if anybody in the group that Jane brings to the table ends up upgrading to the basic through the Platinum Plus, there is commission that gets paid out every week between $1.30 to $10 a month for their subscription to our membership. But all that money goes to John, because Jane's a free member and customers can't make money. Not ethically, not legally. That's not the way it works. But then sometimes, more times than you know, ladies and gentlemen, when that starts to happen, Jane says something like, hold the phone, hold my beer. Wait a minute, what are you talking about?
Hold my beer.
So now I want to be an affiliate, right? Because you've proven it, because there were a couple of things that were mentioned today. Remember, some of your greatest upcoming superstars were told about BeeKonnected and said nay. They didn't get it the first go around. You know, sometimes you got to plant a seed, because I know myself personally, when I was building my teams and somebody tried to make me a new offer, I have a very thick skull, so I don't listen.
What?
I have to be bombarded like a little kid in a candy store that's got the candy bar at the checkout counter, and his mom has told him no 50 times. He's not listening. This candy bar is mine. But if Jane upgrades to a platinum, from the moment she upgrades to platinum or platinum plus, then all the people within her network, the commissions go to her. Now here's how this plays out. This is the important part of the equation. This is the most important leverage you'll learn in at least in our equation, is John still gets 100% match of what Jane does from that point on. He gets to keep his original customers that upgraded, and now all of Jane's customers upgrading, that's his second tier. Now that's 100% match. So let's look at Jane. Let's not talk about John for a second. So Jane, as we talked about last week, she could fish for minnows or she could fish for a whale. So let's say Jane stumbles across the Chamber of Commerce and
and his internet has gone out, and it'll
on
be
board.
right. There you are. You're back.
The goal here, ladies and gentlemen, is Jane is got a choice. She can go after whoever she wants to, but instead of fishing for a bucket of minnows, she should be fishing for a whale, because right now the whole world is your oyster. Now the goal is to sign everybody up for free. You don't hard sell this. It's a free platform. Facebook is free. LinkedIn is free. All these things are free. And then, like in LinkedIn's case, they have over 1 billion customers, of which about 30% have upgraded.
That's a nice number.
That's 300 million people a month that give them money. Yeah, that's an amazing number. Okay, now let's say Jane finds a macro influencer. Now, we had a training not too long ago, and I talked about how many influencers are on Instagram. And I quizzed everybody, and nobody came close to the right answer. There are approximately 64 million influencers on Instagram.
It's a nice number.
I think I need to say that in Thai, because I don't think they got it, right? 64 million. So a micro, there's 4 classifications. So a macro influencer, somebody has like 500,000 people in their following. Now, Mary is the example here. So Jane and Mary are going to work together. Jane's going to do the heavy lifting, show Mary how the software works, right? As we heard today, give them support so they feel comfortable, they feel at home, they understand they're part of the family. And as Mary converts, in this case, 1% of her following. Now, if she does only 1%, Tanya, when the camera's off, I'll be crying in the bathroom.
Right.
Not the numbers we're used to. But 1% for math purposes, that's about 5,000. And if they average our commission, right, between, $1.30 to 10, it falls in the middle about $5. So that's 25,000 a month in passive residual income for Mary.
Who'd like that? Put in chat.
Now, the question, ladies and gentlemen, is if that's an influencer, so she doesn't have to cancel her membership on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or wherever they can still stay there. But if she migrates 1% over, she starts making 25,000 a month. Jane doesn't have to motivate her after that, because she's got money as her motivation. Now, Jane gets to match 100% of Mary's first tier. So working with one client, one relationship, she's made herself enough money to be in the top 1% money earners of the people in the world.
Right.
Which is crazy talk on one client. Okay, now C, that's our VIP. Whoop, doesn't work. The mouse not working today. VIP Platinum. Now, why did you do this?
Well, we wanted just everybody in BeeKonnected to have opportunity to own a little piece of BeeKonnected while we're at this stage. And again, it's about helping the community build.
So you built a company bonus pool. Now, this obviously has a limited reach, because you're talking about taking a percentage of overall profits. So we can pay commissions till the cows come home. But when you're talking about earning a percentage of the company, it has to be a finite number of people. So we created 1,000 units within this pool. It's 10% of all of our global net profits of all of our memberships. Now, it's not like Bitcoin where you can get a portion of a unit, you have to buy at least one unit.
Right.
And a unit's $2,500. Now the net profits are paid quarterly. I'm going to be explaining it in monthly terms just so you can understand it a little easier, but it's paid quarterly. Now, this is the important thing, at least if I was listening, there is no production quota. So to me, this is what I would consider an asset, where I already know my calculated risk is the unit, and then that's it. And then the sky's the limit as far as how much profits the company makes. I get a little piece. Now, once the pool is closed, it won't be diluted, so there's no bait and switch later. Now, the bad news, the sad news, is out of 1,000 units, we're down to 7.
Yeah, that's it.
So is it safe to say this is probably the last week we'll be talking about this?
Oh yeah, because I already had a guy. He's like, "Oh, I'm reviewing everything this weekend. I'll buy however many units, by Monday." I'm like, "Okay."
So what you're saying is, if I was listening, I have till Monday to make my decision.
Yeah.
Now, look, it's optional, ladies and gentlemen. This is just a gift. It's just a bonus. It's just a cherry on top of the hot fudge sundae, if you will. So that is going to be done this week. So when if you come back next week, this will be off the table, and we'll only be talking about 3 things instead of 4.
I know Marie just grabbed hers yesterday. She's like, "I'm not going to miss out."
Right. Okay. So this is it just shows you how it's monetized, right? This is showing the difference between owning 1 unit up to 5 units. And then as the company scales, this is the approximate net payout on a monthly basis for owning 1 or 5 units. Obviously, 1 is in black, 5 units is in green. Now, you have some people who own like 40 units, right?
Absolutely. We got a couple people who have 40 units.
So that's going to be insane that these people are going to be making multiple 6 figures a month before they get out of bed.
Yeah, they'll be very happy. They are very happy.
Okay, now the final one, this is the one that I would be if I was a young man again, because I was like, obviously over competitive, and I would always be like Michael Jordan. I would always be trash talking my fellow colleagues that are on opposing teams in the direct sales world. I'm like, I want to be number 1, which I was 20 of 25 years. So again, just kind of ruthless out there building teams. I was blessed in one capacity that I didn't have to answer to a family, right, with the responsibilities that come with being a father. I was kind of free and clear to run around the world. Now, the downside is I don't have a particular family, even though I'm adopting one in Thailand. Okay, nice talk right now. Too much information. Okay, now what is this all about? So you decided to create something called the VIP Elite. So what is that all about?
It's really, really, really thanking people for helping us build BeeKonnected right now. We really wanted to say, wow, I appreciate you.
Now, this is totally the I quadrant. So it's the first 20. Doesn't have to be the best 20 overall, but it will be the first 20 affiliate partners that collectively, this is the important word, collectively grow a team or a following, if you will, not just personally, but using any other influencer, direct sales company, anybody in the entire membership base, all of the, not just 2 tiers, the entire organization added up. It's just a qualifier to get to own some preferred stock. Now, where are you incorporated out of?
Texas.
Of course you are. Now in Texas. So being a company, now obviously stock, if it's private, is useless. But if you go through an IPO, these are the numbers pre-IPO at 1 million paid members. Now, is that a big number to you, 1 million customers?
It's going to be a blink.
So that means this is according to lawyers and bankers, approximately 2 billion evaluation. Obviously at 10 million, it's a $20 billion valuation. So even if you owned 0.1 of that, then at that time, the stock pre-IPO would be worth 20 million, going all the way up to 400 million. So that's like crazy talk.
And that was the conservative banker that we're talking about, evaluation.
Yeah, I was too scared to put the real numbers they told me.
I know, right?
Downplay it, because I'm like, that's just insane.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, now at the end of all of this, if you're brand new with this, or even if you've been with us for a while, you want to learn to give your own presentations out there in the world, you're going to run into 3 types of people. The first person they're just not ready, or it's just not a fit for them, they're going to say no thanks and just move on. Because 5 billion people on the planet are already online. Now, the second person wants to become a member. Could be a free member, could be at the basic level, could be at the pro level, but they're excited about BeeKonnected. Let them join however they want to, ladies and gentlemen, because as they become more successful, they will scale up and build a bigger network. Now, the third kind of person wants to be a Platinum Plus member because they know there's a 50% off special running now until we launch the app and we tweak all the little things. We call it beta. And when that's over, so will the special. I know some people are asking to keep it around. And I'm like, why? We're already giving away the kitchen sink for free.
Absolutely.
You know, at the Platinum and the Platinum Plus, you're making money. You're not spending money. You're making money. So you got the wrong mindset if you're thinking about what does it cost. That's the wrong question. The question is, how big is your network? How big is your following? 100, 100,000, a million, 10 million? You know, just at $1, we don't pay anything less. We don't pay anything that cheap. But even if it's $1, some of these organizations are connected to over 1 million users. That's what do they say on the street? That's a lot of cheddar.
Right.
So that kind of concludes at least my virtual aspect of BeeKonnected. And we want to always thank you for the time you're giving us, because time is the one commodity money can't buy. Did I turn that off?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I got okay, there we go. So now we can't control the internet gods, right?
Yep.
Nobody, Apple and Android, not what is it, Google? Nobody.
Yeah, Google.
Now, when they say go, then we're kind of out of excuses and we're kind of out of tomorrows, are we not?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, I know Ray Harris has done an amazing job, right? So his name was not mentioned here today, but we know that he's sitting on top of a whole bunch of clients and relationships, including
millions. Not just clients, but people with millions of clients.
I don't know if I've been there before. I've been in his shoes. Those are the times I don't sleep for like a week.
Oh, exactly.
Exciting times. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate the time. So, this new app coming out, understand you have revolutionary, disruptive innovation at your fingertips. You are at the right place at the right time. It took 4.5 years to get to this moment in time, but now we have arrived. So you kind of gotta, if you've been with us for a while, you got to take a deep breath and say, okay, now it's go time. If you're brand new, you're just already excited anyway. You don't have to go through, and if this was the military like I've been in, you would have a chest full of ribbons if you were a David Roberts, right? If you were the people that have been with us for years and years and years. Of course, we'll be telling war stories, Well, I remember BeeKonnected in 2021, right? I remember BeeKonnected in 2022. Nobody cares.
Right.
All they're going to do is say you were lucky. Been there before. And of course, luck has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
All right. Any final words to the people of the world here today, Tanya?
I did have some people who are like, how do I upgrade? Well, if you're in the platform, you hit the button and it takes you to the upgrade page. If you're on just the social biz, you're going to hit the top button and it will take you to the pricing page. So that's how simple it is. If you're like, oh, I really want to grab one of those 7 bonus pool units or more, hit that middle button. That's your bonus pool unit form. And then down at the bottom, if you're like, oh, I really want to start marketing this more, where do I find some marketing stuff? We've got some incredible things from our Chief Content Officer, Mr. David Debs, who's done incredible videos and images that you can use that's all been approved and gone through compliance. And I say compliance, people.
All right. There's always a conversation because somebody says, oh, I got this big company. I got these important people. I know this group. I know this individual. I know this CEO. How do I do this? What do I do? What's the first thing I do? Well, I'll help you. The first thing I do is reach out and say, hey, hello.
What? I have to do something.
I found an amazing company. I want to send you a video. Now, those two things, saying hi and sending them a video, are 2 steps in the process. And so many times people forget to use videos to promote. So it's not coming from you. It comes from a third-party credible source. So that's touch 1, touch 2. Now, some people are wanting to now combine the next 3 touches all in one day. That is not the way the system works. In networking, back in my networking days, this is what is known as show up and throw up.
I want to tell you everything all in one sitting.
And because, we get worn out, we get bored because we start to master the platform and we're forgetting someone's trying to absorb 9 different technologies, 9 different tech stacks in one company. First off, you have to get a yes before you can get to the next touch. You can say, hey, have you heard about this new company? They're like, I don't want anything with tech. I don't want anything to do with technology. Okay, then the conversation's over, at least for that day. Or like your guest here today, she said, well, I heard it, but I wasn't paying attention.
Right.
Until something bad happened. Like I just got kicked off of blankety blank platform, right? I'm sick and tired of paying all this ridiculous money, and then it's so complicated, I got to go hire another expert to work their software. That's crazy talk to me.
Yeah.
They charge an arm and a leg, and then because it's so complicated, you got to hire another expert.
Man, I've done that so many times in my life. That's why we wanted to make it simple here. Well,
so again, there's a process, and then of course a demonstration. A demo is so someone takes a test drive, and after they take a test drive, then you go talk to the finance manager, right? If it was a car, you take it for a test drive to see if you like it, if it fits your, it gives you goosebumps. Then you say, okay, because this is a very expensive proposition, right? You want 30,000, you want 50,000. I'm shopping for cars in Thailand, which, by the way, I found out are 3X. I made a promise. My girl gets a new Mercedes, which I have to pay 3 times what they cost in America.
That is crazy. Everything else is cheaper.
That is insert the foot in my mouth.
You promised. You promised.
My word. But then after they do the test drive and they find out the financing, then and only then can we afford to take. I know you'll never say this publicly. You have very limited time with all the responsibilities of being a person of your position, with all the moving parts, with the lawyers and the technology and the IT and then the customer service. And then, the salespeople want you to close their deal for them. That's what we pay you for.
Yeah.
All joking aside, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all. We love you all. This time next week, as long as the internet gods don't, put us on a timeout, which I don't see why they would. It's going to be different conversations, different experiences, different stories are going to come out of the woodworks. So if you've been with us for a while, we want to really say thank you from the bottom of my heart to stay with us through this journey. But now it's the fun time. Now it's time to get paid.
Yes.
And paid well. Remember, we pay weekly. You know my joke. WEEKLEY, not WEAKLEY. Just think about that for a while.
Oh, and I do have something that I disagree with you about.
Uh-oh.
So you said that Rich Dad, Poor Dad was the best read. I disagree. No. It's Johnny Reed is the best read.
Juan McMahon, that's Thailand's way of saying sweet mouth.
See, everyone else.
All right, everybody, have a rest of your wonderful weekend. We love you all. We appreciate you all. Till next time.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Recording has stopped.